Long way, get this shit a long way, get this shit a long way, long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit along, gotta get the shit. Gotta know she don't really understand, man. Gotta know she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get the shit along, gotta get the shit along. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slave, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand, she don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Yeah, told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, just another talk. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. We gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another edition of SavingsMinusDebt. I'm your host, the founder of SMD, LJ Young. What's up, Dennis, Jimmy, Antoine, Into Me, UC2? What's going on? And if you're new to the channel, welcome. All right, welcome. Thank you very much for stopping by. Much appreciated. Long story short, I like to just get straight to it now. I am here to share my ability to see that capitalism is psychological. All right. It's called psychological capitalism. And what that is I guess by its first name, it's really hard to put it in words, right? Long story short, since capitalism is psychological, in order for it to work, the majority must be in debt and not know they're in debt. Okay. That's the psychological part. To be in debt, believe you own things while being in debt. All right. That's a psychological, because if it's not mathematically true, it's psychological to you. If it's not mathematically true, all currency is psychological to you. Now, when you're a debt slave, you, it is really difficult putting this in words today. You don't realize by being in debt makes you the currency. Okay, so the reason why no currency exists for you, and this is in psychological capitalism, and remember, everything I'm saying I can mathematically prove. Okay, I'm just telling you guys, I'm sharing something. You are the currency. It's you. That's why no currency exists for you, because it's you. Now, I like to give examples because that's a very hard thing to, like, that's a That's a ginormous SMD red financial pill to swallow. You're like, what do you mean no currency exists for me? Right. And I get that. I totally understand that. Right. But that is just the power and the respect it demands to the creators of psychological capitalism from what I can see, it's obviously the central banks. Obviously, to me, that's how it looks to me, the central banks. But and that's not a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying what is. Okay, it really doesn't matter how I feel about it. Okay, that's irrelevant. With that being said, so you guys can understand now how no currency exists for you. Okay, so you really need to grasp this. Okay, so say like you hold $20 in your hand. Okay, and with the other hand, open up the calculator app. Okay, and I want you to put in 20 minus your car payment and hit equal. Now, according to the calculator, do you have $20 in your hand according to the calculator? The answer is no, you don't. But when you turn and look in your hand, you see the $20, okay? You see it in your hand physically, but when you look back at the calculator says it's not there. The reason why the calculator is telling you that is because money is psychological to you, but you don't know that. Okay? Now here's another one, okay? For those of you that believe you're homeowners with a mortgage, open up the calculator app, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and then hit equal. Now, as you're looking at the calculator, I want you to just listen to me. What kind of house can you buy with that amount of money that's being shown to you on the calculator right now? What kind of house can you buy with that amount of money? Then how did you buy the house you're living in today? You didn't. You didn't buy anything because a mortgage is called financing. Buy is with cash. That's according to the laws of mathematics. But since you don't know that, it's psychological. That makes you the currency. Mortgages buy people. They don't buy houses. Mortgages buy people, mathematically speaking. And again, nothing's wrong with that because all you got to do is turn around and look and say, how many people are doing that? That's doing things that are not mathematically true. Millions of people out there believe they're homeowners with equity. You guys don't realize you are the equity because you're the mortgage. Without you, it would be no house. So you're probably thinking, well, LJ, you said all currency. Of course, all currency. So let me give you an example, okay? We're going to stick with the $20 example. We're going to keep everything low. So say like you took out $20, you took the 20 out of your hand because it's all psychological. It doesn't matter what it is for you because you guys are the currency. And you exchange that, excuse me, and you exchange that 20 for $20 worth of gold. If you look at the calculator never changes. Even if you put in the 20 minus your car payment and hit equal, and then you swap out $20 worth of silver, $20 worth of whatever, cryptocurrency, whatever, right? And I want you to pay attention to your calculator. Your calculator never changes. You know why it doesn't change? Because you're the currency. That's what you're the common link between the two. It's you. So since you don't change, it never changes. You're the currency. That's why the number on the calculator never changes, because the calculator is telling you it doesn't matter what you have in your hand. It's you. So when you understand capitalism is psychological, and then you go back and you listen to all these people talking about Bitcoin and the stock market and what it's going to do, what the market's going to do, all you guys got to do is turn to them and say, "Hey, can we see your personal credit report?" If they're talking about money, anything finance, cryptocurrency, what it's going to do, bounce up and down, all you have to do is say, "Let me see your personal credit report." They're gonna wonder why. You're gonna say, "I need to see if you own yourself." Because if you don't own yourself, you're the currency. It's you. Like if you're investing in cryptocurrency while having student loan debt, you're the cryptocurrency. It's you. Any currency that exists, it's you. It doesn't matter what it is. You're the stock in the stock market. You're the gold. You're the silver. You're the you're the paper money. You're everything is you. That's how it works in psychological capitalism. And again, it doesn't. It's not a good. It's not bad. It's just there. Okay. It doesn't matter. My feelings about psychological capitalism are irrelevant. Do you understand me? That's totally irrelevant. Never in a and if you don't and again, I always try to make sure you guys understand where I'm coming from, okay? The majority of people that are giving you financial advice, the ones that don't own themselves, those people are necessary too in psychological capitalism. It's necessary because the majority of you, in order for it to work, the majority of you must remain in debt and not know it. Period. You don't know. You guys don't know where to get your financial advice from. You're just thinking it's pros. Oh, if this person has a degree or went to this college, none of that means anything. It doesn't matter the letters behind their name. Doesn't matter if they're a doctor, lawyer, psychiatrist. It doesn't matter. None of it. Did you guys know debt slaves can be psychologists, doctors, lawyers? Debt slaves can be successful business people. Did you know that? Understanding psychological capitalism, people like that, they don't know I can see them. Do you understand me? They don't know that. It's against the laws of mathematics for people like that to see, for debt slaves to see me. To even understand the word I'm saying right now, you hear me talking on the mic. There's words coming out of my mouth, but you can't understand what it is that I'm saying. You know why? Because you that's against the laws of mathematics for you to know because you don't own yourself. To understand that you guys are the currency, that's a hard pill to swallow. You've been told about credit and equity, and that's all fine and dandy. That's called business, okay? Credit reports, credit scores, nothing's wrong with it. It's not mean, it's not evil. Credit card companies are not bad. The IRS is not evil. Taxes are no, none of that. Stop thinking like that. None of that is true. That's only people in the debt matrix. You hear somebody complaining, listen, if you hear somebody complaining about taxes, they don't know. They obviously don't know. How do you know? They're complaining about taxes. What are you doing? You're complaining about a thing? That's a thing. Why are you complaining about it? Oh, because you don't own yourself. Once you own yourself and you look at taxes, you're like, oh, they're just taxes. Yeah, they're just taxes. It's the law that everybody has to pay, but it's not the law that everybody has to pay the same way. That is not the law. Yes, we must all pay taxes. Yes, that is true. All the same way too? No, that's not true. You don't have to do it that way. Oh, just follow the rules. Yeah, they're clearly posted on the IRS website. Just hey, it's clearly posted. Here, these are the rules. Okay, all right, cool. And guess what? When you understand capitalism is psychological, all other departments know you understand too, right? You know how? They just look at my personal credit report. I'm 52 and nobody owns me. Of course I know. That's obvious. Having a credit report that looks like mine at age 52, good luck on finding ever finding that ever. Good luck. Good luck at 52. You know what age group that would even come close to credit reports that look like mine? 18-year-olds. 18. The day they turn 18, their credit reports will look like mine. That's the only time you're gonna see that. The day they turn 18, you run their credit and you see they got nothing. That's me right there. That's me. Good luck. Anybody come up to me and say, "Hey, man, LJ, you know what you're talking about? Can you prove to me that you know what you're talking about when it comes to money and finance?" Yeah, look at my credit report. Nobody owns me. Good luck finding another person that's proof. That's ironclad, undoubtable, no trick. That oh yeah, you own yourself. Oh yeah, that's clear. Oh, you obviously know what psychological capitalism is. Sure do. That's my past, baby. And then you take another step back and say, how many people on earth do you think know that capitalism is psychological? On earth, because capitalism is worldwide. How many people on earth do you think there are? Not many. On earth. Because it doesn't matter where capitalism, hey, is the country capitalism? Yeah, that's all I need to know. That's it. I don't care. I'll fit right in. What if you don't know their economy? Or oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will. It's probably just a little bit different, but capitalism is capitalism. If the capitalism is there, that means psychological capitalism is there because they go together. Doesn't matter. If I move to Canada, they're capitalists. Okay, cool. I don't care. Same thing. Different structure. Oh, okay. The prime minister is in charge over here in the United States is the president. Okay, you just figure it out. The different court systems, and I don't plan to be in them personally anyway to worry about that kind of stuff. They're the currency in Canada too. They're the currency. Debt slaves are the currency. They don't know to take a step back and say, hey, okay, let's see. We have a student loan debt problem here in the US. Yeah. Okay. Does Canada have the same? They do. That's weird. You mean they have credit problems just like us? Yeah, sure do. That ain't that weird? That's weird. The exact same problems, financially speaking. That's weird. It's not weird to me because that's how it's supposed to be. I understand that. And trust me, when the people that know, that's obvious that the people that know, it's crystal clear. Your credit report proves it. You guys don't really understand the true purpose of credit reports. Those are owner ledgers. Credit reports are owner ledgers. Your credit reports house all the businesses that own you. That's how it works. A credit score or reward points are look at them as like a thank you for staying in debt. Thank you. Thank you for borrowing our money at an interest rate that we whatever we made up. So you want some more? Yeah, because you're a good payer. It doesn't matter. Hmm. Like let me give you an example, okay? So you guys can understand. Now, this is what I'm speaking is very difficult for you guys to understand because that's a huge red pill. You gotta accept that everything you've been told wrong. You've been told on the wrong side. There's two sides. You just been talking to the people who are the majority on the wrong side of it all. It's a big red pill to swallow, but it's all true. Okay. Remember, I can always prove it on the calculator, always. Now That's called a glitch in the debt matrix because you're gonna do that. You're gonna think you're a homeowner with a mortgage, and then you are gonna actually open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and hit equal. Then you're gonna see that large negative number, and then you're gonna think about you got because it's gonna stagger your brain a little bit because you really been believing you're a homeowner, but when you look at that calculator, you can clearly see you're not. That's called a glitch in the debt matrix. You're probably thinking, which one do I believe? What I've been told all my life, or the calculator that's never wrong ever? Then you're going to go through, well, if it was that easy, millions of people would know, but they don't. But they don't know. It doesn't matter what you believe. If it was so easy, millions of other people would know this, but they don't. That's all you need to care about to clearly understand that they do not. And that's how it's supposed to be. It doesn't matter if they don't know equity. They're the debt slaves. You guys are the equity. It's you. Equity is not money. Cash flow is not money. That's you. Those are words that sound like cash, but they're not. You think when the bank reaches out to you and reminds you that you have equity in your house, you think they doing that because they care about you? No, they would just want you to start that mortgage over. Hey, interest rates are getting low. You can take advantage of this refi and pull out some equity and do blah bloggity blah bullshit, and then you guys go for it, thinking it's your house, your equity, but it's you. That's called business. They're not doing that because they like you. That's doing that because it's called business. Let me give you another example of psychological capitalism level. Okay. Now, when I was getting out of debt, I found Dave Ramsey. Okay. I came across Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey was like, hey, take this calculator and this baby steps, apply it to your finances and get out of debt. I said, okay, cool. That's easy enough to understand. I don't need to buy any of your courses or go to see some of your investor pros or whatever. I didn't, it was just basic math. So I did it, got out of debt. And then he says, pay off, get to the baby step two, I believe it says pay off everything except your mortgage. And they're like, cool, whatever. All right. And then when you get down to save this and that, and then all of a sudden save 6 months emergency fund of 1 year or whatever that is, right? And then it says start putting away 15% away into retirement. And I said, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. I can't put 15% away in retirement while having a mortgage, according to the calculator. If I open up the calculator, pay off all my debt except the mortgage, and open up the calculator and put in my mortgage payment minus my mortgage balance and hit equal, I see a large negative number. I am so far away from putting 15% of anything anywhere. So far. I'm deep, like 300-400 negative. I have no money. So I thought to myself, oh, that's called business. Because what Dave is saying right here, that's mathematically impossible. You can't do that with a mortgage. You cannot invest 15% into retirement while having a mortgage. That's mathematically impossible. So that's why I jumped off the Dave Ramsey train. I said, oh, okay, that's business, because he's going to point you to one of his investor pros, which is nothing's wrong with this. Okay, I'm just explaining something to you. Then he's going to say, hey, I don't do that. Here's the point. Whoever he's affiliated with, he's going to get a piece of the money, whatever. It's just business. Okay. But that's where I left. I said, oh, yeah, that's not what I want to do. There's something more that I'm missing. Because I thought to myself, if Dave Ramsey could build his business like that big, right? And then he goes from there to the 15. I said, I can take it to another level. Because I say, well, because I know I'm right. You can't do that. But either way, that's not neither here or there. That's called business. I don't care about. I'm telling you, I don't care about that. I consider him a mentor. Respect him very much. I'm just explaining something to you. I take with the gift that I got from him. I take it and I enhance mine that I have. And then I just kept going all the way up to psychological capitalism, because I never have ever once heard Dave Ramsey ever mention that capitalism is psychological, ever. psychological capitalism is that me even saying it is the first time I've ever heard it, ever. What's up, Ulysses, Django Geek? That first hurt my feelings when I started watching his videos, but I definitely understood and I have shifted my thinking. One day it will be my actual home. Yeah, it's oh, you talking about Dave, right? Because it's cool. I mean, hopefully I meet him one day. Honestly, people asking for student loan forgiveness next. They're gonna ask for mortgage loan forgiveness. They're gonna be, and I said this earlier. If they really wanted to stimulate the economy without actually probably asking somebody for something for some money, all they got to do is say, "Hey, we're gonna forgive $20,000 in student loan debt, and we're gonna mail you guys the checks to pay it yourself." All that money would pour back into the economy because the majority of debt slaves would not take 20 G's and put it all on the student loan debt. There's no way they would do that. No way. They would think they were going to flip it. They're going to buy something. Hey, I'm going to die with student loan debt anyway. I still, give them 20. Say like somebody has 100,000 in student loan debt they ain't paid in 10, 15 years. You give them 20,000. You think they're going to take all that 20,000 and put it on it? Hell no, they're not. They are not, because they're going to say to themselves, "Oh man, I'm gonna just die with it because there's no way I'm gonna be able to pay off $80,000 in student loan debt. So I might as well enjoy it." Like, they start making up stuff in their minds. All right, let's see here. I paid off my 93,000 in student loan debt, and I'm almost finished paying off my home. I've been wise with my income. Too many aren't, for sure. And you know what? I've always been wise with my income too, but I was still a debt slave. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do dumb things, kept my credit good. I never got late on payments and stuff like that. I followed the rules of the credit card game. Oh, you was talking about me. Okay, okay. Sorry if you guys can hear some background. They're doing some work somewhere on the neighbor's side of my place. So if you guys can hear all that drilling and hammering, I'm not sure if you guys can hear all that. So you guys are the currency. Damn, that is loud too. It is throwing me off too. Okay. Oh. God, that is loud. Can you guys hear that? Oh boy. Okay. Let me try this again. All right. Oh boy. Any questions? Let me do this because this is throwing me off here with all this noise. I didn't know they was gonna be doing that. It's 4 o'clock too. Some kind of air conditioning problem because they only work that hard if somebody AC go out, because down here you cannot go without AC in South Carolina. That is not optional. Okay, that is not optional. Ulysses says, I'm always asked why am I so calm? My answer is I'm debt free and stress free. I'm never worrying about the bills or the next day. Exactly. People don't really. When you are the currency, put it this way. Okay, if you're a person living paycheck to paycheck, the reason why that's happening to you is because you're the currency. It's you. If you are going for those payday advance apps, because you're the currency, those businesses are taking advantage of you because you don't know that you're the currency. That's why you're always never you never can catch up. You know why? Because it's you. Oh, she's a question. How come you are so freaking cool? I'm excited. You know what? I'm really excited to travel around the country explaining psychological capitalism. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. You know, I mean, for the while, for in the beginning, there would be a lot of interviews via the internet first, right? But I know when I start traveling around, man, you guys have no idea how I just been practicing my routine in my head. What I'm gonna do on stage, how I'm gonna interact with the audience, what I'm gonna use. Because the wonderful thing about knowing this is that you guys, as debt slaves, not knowing that you're the currency, you can't understand the questions that I will be asking. You guys will not expect those kind of questions because you don't know capitalism is psychological because you don't own yourself. It's like I always use this example too. Like when you see somebody giving a some kind of savings on it, say like you have somebody doing a new Tesla and they're telling you how much money they're saving in gas and what they did when they went 1,000 miles and charge and all this other stuff, right? And then you find out that they financed the Tesla right there. Not saying that the numbers that they show you about the car are inaccurate. I'm saying the numbers that they're showing you only apply to people who pay cash for Teslas. Because if you don't have the money to buy the car, you can't save if you don't have if you didn't listen, if you didn't save the money to buy the car, you can't save money financing the car. You can't do that. So those people are not saving any gas. They're not traveling for free. They're not only paying X amount at the electric filling station, whatever you call them. That you, what they don't really understand, like people with electric cars, especially the ones that finance electric cars, because you're the currency, you don't know what you're spending. Like when you spend the hour to wait to get to the electric charging station, and then when you get to the charging station, you wait another hour. That's 2 hours of your life to charge one car. Now, if somebody made you wait at a gas pump for 2 hours, would you accept that? Would you say, hey, man, somebody came out and said, hey, this gas is 50 cents a gallon, but it's going to take, what kind of car you got? Yeah, it's going to take 2 hours to fill that. Would you accept it? Would you say, okay, that's worth it? And then you hear the gas just dripping in your tank. It's not even coming out fast. It's just dripping, but it's going to get there 2 hours. It'll fill it up. Would you accept that? But you do that for electric cars because you're the currency. It's you. Only debt slaves will spend something that's worth more in value for something less in value because you're the currency. You're the current at the charging station. It's you. You when you put that thing in the car, that's you going in there. That's you. You're charging that car. That's you. They're charging you while you're charging. They're charging you. It's you. You guys being the currency and the higher. This is what I say. The higher gas prices is definitely being partly done to get people to go out and purchase these electric cars. Exactly. When I see. Listen, when you understand capitalism is psychological, I understand that you guys are the currency. It's you. So when I see high gas prices, I immediately think, okay, they want them to purchase. They want them to not purchase. Want you guys to start financing electric cars more. That's all. Okay, whatever. Because you guys believe if you go and finance a electric car, you don't have to worry about gas prices. That's not true because you're not saving anything. But you don't know that because you are the currency. If you have a financed electric car, it's you. That's why you're stuck in traffic in your financed electric car. Who cares if you're stuck in traffic, who cares if it's gas or electric? You're still sitting there. Who cares? You guys are all sitting in the same freeway stack. Can't go nowhere, all because of the very thing that you're sitting on the freeway in. That makes you and see that long. I want you to take a look. If you happen to be listening to this video and you are in the freeway and you're stuck, I want you to look ahead of you, see how far the traffic goes. And then I want you to look in your rearview mirror and see how far that goes. That's you in the middle between those two. That's you. You guys are the currency. That's why you guys all lined up. Current. You're the currency. It's so sinister how it's being done, though. Imagine if everyone woke up to peace. Yeah, but that can't happen. They do look cheaply built, and they built them fast. Yeah, Elon Musk. He just sped up things a little bit. He just was like, hey, I can't wait. And see, you always know people with passion. Elon, he went for broke. He'll tell you. All you gotta do is look it up. He went for broke. He knew how I'm gonna do this. If it doesn't work, that's it. We're done. That's because he understands that once you understand capitalism is psychological, there is no going back. There's no going back. You can't associate with debt slaves no more. You can't do that. Debt slaves are the currency. You can't talk to them about finances. They don't know. They don't even know. They don't own themselves. And you hear them talk and you hear them speak, hey, I just bought this house. They financed it with an FHA mortgage and student loan debt, and they think they bought a house. You can't associate with those kind of people anymore. You can't. Because you're going to see them on social media acting like they're involved in everything and have so much money, showing you fancy cars, and you're going to know they're debt slaves, but they don't know it. Especially the ones that try very, very hard to convince you that they are living large. They go out their way to make sure hey, look at me. I'm shopping at these stores, and this is what kind of car I drive. And that's because when you're the currency, you don't know money doesn't have a look. That's a lie. Money doesn't look like anything. What you guys need to understand is this, okay? And I want you guys to clearly understand me when I say this. When you have money, you can make it look like anything you want. Because you have money. You have money to do that. So you can make it look like anything you want, anything. And when you clearly understand capitalism is psychological and you guys are the currency, you guys have no money. What am I going to show you all my money for? Why would I do that? You guys have no money. So you're saying that EV were created to keep us in debt, just something else to buy? Not keep you in debt, to keep you there, yeah. Just another thing to buy. That's it. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. That's a very good question, Jay. Thank you for asking that. By the way, it doesn't matter what you finance as long as you guys just do it. It doesn't matter if it's electric or gas or solar powered. Nothing. It don't matter as long as you finance it. Doesn't matter. When you don't own yourself, once you own yourself, your world's going to change forever. I understand that billions of people are not like me. I understand that. That's clear. That's crystal clear. That's with a B. I want you guys. That's not a M. That's a B. Okay, just to make sure that's clear. Because again, capitalism is worldwide. The name of the game is to sell to the debt slaves. Correct? Because debt slaves are debt slaves by choice. When you understand this, you understand that they are the currency and they are there by choice. It'll help you remove your feelings about what you have to do to sell the debt slaves. It doesn't matter. They're there on purpose. If you're financing phones, you're there on purpose. If you finance a new phone every year, That's because of you. That's why you're a debt slave. That's what makes you the currency. Anybody you catch financing a phone, automatically right off the bat, understand that they're the currency right away. Debt slaves, and if you want to know, it's not really hard because debt slaves believe financing phones is normal. So it won't be, they won't be insulted if you ask them, hey man, did you finance that phone? They'll be like, oh yeah, man, I just make $50 a month payments. Okay, that's all we need to know. And don't say another word. Don't say another word. That's all you need. Are you financing a phone? Oh yeah, okay. You just told me everything I need to know about you financially. Everything. Humble trader, I want you to understand this too. Okay, understand this. Not too, but understand this. Humans are the only species that consume unnecessarily. Okay, we're the only ones that consume totally unnecessary. We are the only ones. We are the only ones. It cannot, none of this economies cannot work without people. We're the only species that does that. So it doesn't matter if hey, robots are starting to do everything. Do robots consume unnecessarily? No, and they never will. Only people do that. So whatever change you see in anything, it cannot work without people. There must be a few people that know that capitalism is psychological. The majority must remain in debt, not knowing, clueless, walking around, wondering why they can't get ahead with retirement. Hey, how much money are we going to have left over in Social Security? Worrying about the wrong things. Totally wrong things. Bananas. Wake up when you wake. I'm telling you, man, when you wake up and really realize that you're the currency, you've been the currency the whole time, like you're gonna have to have a strong, I'm gonna just tell you right now, you're gonna have to have a strong mind. So like you've been in your house for like 15, 16 years, and every month you've been making a mortgage payment for the last 16 years of this house, and the whole time you've been thinking you're a homeowner, and then you wake up. You're gonna have to have a very strong mind to realize that you own nothing. You never had any equity in the house that because you didn't have the money to buy it. Of course, you don't have no equity in the house. Of course not. Knowing that every single one of those payments are gone, gone. That's going to be a hard that's going to be a very hard. You got to have a strong mind, and it's going to really count on your age too. When I hear, sometimes I'll be on social media and then I'll see somebody around my age, 52 or 53, talk about they just financed a house. I'm like, holy moly. Now the average now the average mortgage is like 30 years, right? So if you're 50, this is all the person has to do is this think, but debt slaves don't think like this. If he literally thought he was going to pay that house off in 30 years, he's like, wait a minute, I'm going to be 80 years old by the time I pay this house off. You just got to sit back and say, yeah, just look in the mirror and say that to yourself. Look in the mirror and say that to yourself. You're like, I'm going to be 80? That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take 30 years to pay off one house. That's not true. That is not true. You think I would have saw that in a million years when I was in the debt matrix? No, I wouldn't have saw that. I wouldn't have known. I didn't know I was the currency all the way up from age 18 to age 42 somewhere. I did not know I was the currency the whole time. You guys think the internet, man, you guys think the internet is good for you guys? Oh man, it's just a you guys have no idea the things you search for. It's just a whole, but it's like all you guys connected together, sharing information. What's up, Ulysses, man? How you been?
What's going on, Linnell, man? I've been pretty good. Just
Good,
got
man. Nice to see you.
getting
Man,
out
you
from
look
work,
calm.
man.
You look relaxed.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm very relaxed, man. So just got home, got off from work. But I just had wanted to jump on because I know it's been a while since I, you know, jumped on to the live stream with you. And I just wanted to say, man, I love everything that you're doing. I still this doesn't ever get old to me. You still talking about the same things, and I just feel like it's very helpful, man. And it's very needed too. You know what I mean? And I believe you when you say billions of people are not like you, or I can say us now, because
Yes, it's
I'm
us.
at a
It's
balance of
See how you
zero.
got to get used to it. See how you got to get
Yeah,
used to it. That's how it works.
yeah,
I love it though. Love it. Go ahead, man.
yeah. And so, it's just a lot that I agree with you with, and that I feel like you did open my eyes to a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to communication with a lot of debt slaves, as you would say. And I just find myself, just being around a lot of people, and so like I agree now. When I remember when you was like, you can't, you have to just shut up. You have to just let people do what they're gonna do,
Right.
because
Right.
obviously it's hard to convince people to
Mm-hmm.
try to go on this kind of path.
Right.
And for me, I don't know if you remember, but I said I got rid of my vehicle
Yeah.
that I had. I sold it to Carvana, and I was like, you know what? I felt like I did. I used the value that I need to use out of it, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, just go ahead and get rid of it, because I tired of making the payments, even though the payments wasn't the problem. Yeah, I was just like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I already had a vehicle that was paid for, so listening to, and then when I'm at work, man, I'm just listening to some of the debt slave conversation. And
Mm. Mm.
I was walking by in the hallway, and I heard one of the nurses was like, well, she wasn't even a nurse, she was like a CNA, and she was like, yeah, my car payment only $600. And I'm like, only
Ooh.
$600. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's just ridiculous. And
Ridiculous.
it's just that mentality of, people thinking that just because they financing stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
they just feel like they got the money now when the inflation is going up. All I hear now is just a bunch of complaining. And so
Right.
I just feel like I'm in this big bowl, and it's just me, and I'm
Right.
calm, and everybody like, why is this dude so calm? He just,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, but man, I just want to
Right.
say I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your message. I'm,
How old are you now, man? How old are you?
31,
31. God damn.
31.
Still,
Yeah,
man,
still young.
congratulations.
Yeah, I had that in my mind.
Congratulations on getting this information at your age, man. It's going, you know what I'm saying? You get
Right,
to you get to share it with your son. This because you're gonna naturally pass this to him, naturally.
right. Yeah, and I just, just thinking about. Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just, was thinking about how much money I.
Oh, I lost him. I don't know what happened. Not sure what happened. Not sure what happened. Let's see. Is it possible to buy a house cash in these times? Yes. Yes. And QJC, what you gotta understand is this. Once you understand capitalism is psychological, it won't matter the times, okay? It won't matter what economy it is in, whatever. That won't matter to you anymore, because debt slaves are the currency, okay? Once you clearly understand that, you'll say, oh, it doesn't matter if the economy's up or down, the stock market did this and that and blah, blah, blah. You won't care, because that has nothing to do with you. When you sell, it does. Never when you buy, only when you sell, okay? Because you'll understand that 99% of the properties in America are mortgaged. Okay? They're mortgaged. So it doesn't matter what they believe. It doesn't matter what the debt slaves believe. What's up? You back?
Yes, sir, I'm back. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, man, I was just saying that, last year was the most that I ever had saved up. And
Oh,
I really do believe that once you get to zero,
yeah.
you can level up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can grow your banking account. and you can have more opportunity to invest in a whole bunch of other areas that you want to do. So,
Yeah.
versus just financing a whole bunch of everything,
Well, because you got real money to invest. That's why
Right.
you got real
Right.
money, not borrowed.
Mhm.
No money exists for debt slaves, so they don't know everything they invest
Yeah.
in is borrowed, so they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And see, like last year when I moved into my apartment, so I've been in my new apartment for a year now,
Okay.
and I finished everything, cash, from bedroom to living room set to
Nice.
TV and all of that stuff. And
Nice.
so my family was like, man, how was you able to buy all of that? They was thinking that I financed, and I'm like, no, no, no more of them days, no more of them
Right.
days. I ain't trying to do
Oh,
that.
now you rich then. You just told them
Yeah.
you rich
Yeah,
then.
oh yeah, now I'm rich. Yeah, yeah. I had to tell a couple of family members earlier. I'm like, man, I might as well just claim y'all if I'm gonna just give y'all money. So
See, they don't, so crazy. They don't ask, say, hey, Ulysses, how'd you do that? They just want to straight to you. Oh, you can do that? Okay, let me borrow some money.
Right.
Are you letting them borrow money? What you doing?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
stop
All
that.
right.
Yeah. I
Okay.
stopped that because I'm like, if I can work hard, and I was working 2 jobs, I didn't need to work 2 jobs, but I
Right.
just wanted to find a hobby to keep me going and keep me doing something.
Right.
And so I'm like, if I can be out here hard working, doing 16-hour days sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you guys can be out here doing this too. I
Yep.
try to give them advice, even coworkers, just trying to give them advice to, listen to your platform, listen to your
Mm-hmm.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than you at work listening to music, hey, you can listen to some financial advice that's going to get this stress off you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
So,
is a rare advice, psychological capitalism, man. It's just I've just even me saying that, knowing I've never even heard that in my life, and I found it.
yeah, I never heard that either until I looked at you uploaded a video one day, and I'm like,
Right.
psychological. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, I never heard of that. So I'm like, I know
You
this
can't
got to be.
Google it. If you Google it, you ain't gonna find nothing.
I ain't gonna find anything.
You
Yeah,
ain't gonna
I
find it.
really
Google
tried.
ain't gonna know. Google's gonna say, I don't know what that is. What is
Right.
Google gonna turn around and ask
Right.
you. I don't know. Nobody's ever
Yeah.
typed that into the search box.
Right. Yeah. So man, every day, your voice just in my head, just to keep me motivated, to keep me on the right track, keep me doing things correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it does get very tempting to go back over there sometimes, but I'm like, nah, I know that ain't. See the stress on other people's face. I'm like, oh no, I don't
Well,
want to
see,
live.
that's part of the process too, because I want people to know. I'm glad you said that too, because I want people to understand it ain't easy just to leave. You come and you find my videos. Oh, LJ said go this way, and you just gonna say, oh, okay, and then no, it ain't easy, man. It ain't that. It takes hard work,
You question
psychologically.
yourself.
Psychologically,
Yeah.
yeah.
And see, it was times where I was just questioning myself. I'm like, man, am I really even doing it right? Am I even on the right path or whatever like that? But I realized that it was true. Once I saved all that money, and I was like, man, this can, I really find something here. And um, I hear, you see a bunch of people saying that, oh, well, I make this amount of money, and see, I realized too, it ain't about how much you make, but it can be
No.
about how much you save. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure. That's exactly right. It don't, and that's all people talk about, how much money they make. Hey, I make 6 figures, but they don't. You got to remember, only people that are the currency, which is debt slaves, they talk like that because they think it's the amount of money you make. So as soon as you kind of hear somebody talk like that, you automatically know they're debt slave because of the way they're talking, right? But
Right.
they don't know that you can hear them talk like that.
They
That's
don't.
the wonderful thing about it. That's why I love it. That's why I love it.
Right. And I just feel like, being around that group, it can really bring your energy down. You know what I mean? It can
Yeah.
bring your spirit
Yeah.
down, because it's a bunch of complaining, and it's all stuff that can really be solved. Like, you don't need that house, that big house. You don't need that finance iPhone, that, you know what I mean? That car, stuff like that. And I feel like it can be fixable. You know what I mean? So
I'm really curious. I'm really curious, and I want you to, if you can, just keep us updated. But honestly, I'm really curious to see what you do in your generation with this knowledge, right? Because you got to know that your age right now is the target, right? For debt slave, to sell, to buy, to finance, right? You are the target. But now that you're awake, and that's in your generation, I'm curious to see how how it's going to work for you, just because it works
Yeah.
for every aspect of your life now, right?
Yes, sir.
Relationships, because you ain't gonna date a debt slave. That's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You won't care what she look like. She
Yeah,
could
that's
be
true.
she could be fine, but once you find out she got 50,000 in student loan debt, you're gonna be like,
Mhm.
sorry.
Well, you know what? I'm actually dating someone right now, and she's on the path. She in full support right now. She on
Okay.
the path. I was telling her, I'm like, look, hey, if we can be intimate with each other, I need to know about, I need to know what your debt looking like, because
Did you say
I
that to her?
don't know.
Did you say that to
I
her?
did,
All right.
I really
Okay.
did,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I
Was she
didn't want to
shocked?
waste
Was
any
she shocked?
time.
Was she
I didn't
shocked?
want. I think that was the first time she was ever heard that. I think because I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, because I'm like, hey, what's your credit score? Not that I care about the credit score, and
Right.
I didn't know that a lot of the places that you try to rent from, that they
Mhm.
was using credit. They was checking your credit to see, I guess, how
Right.
background. And I'm like, well, really have no interest in buying a home. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Right.
Being a mortgage owner right now,
Right.
because I see
Right.
I'm not
Right.
there. You know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So she was like, "Hey, this is what my credit score is. I haven't got to what the debt was yet, but I'm
Okay.
willing to open up my app and show her mine, just so she can know that, hey,
Okay.
this is the path that I'm on." And
Okay.
so that's another discussion that we're gonna have about.
Okay. I
Some,
like
so,
it, man. I like it. I like
yeah,
it. Oh,
yeah,
man, I'm jealous. I'm
yeah.
jealous. I'm damn near jealous, man. Because if I had this at 30,
Oh my
ooh.
God, yeah. And I feel like, her income and my income together, we can
Mhm.
move some mountains, man. I really do believe.
Nice. Nice. And she's
Yeah.
open, and she was totally open to what you were talking about.
She was totally open in what I'm talking about. I'm like,
All
hey,
right.
look, we got to get this debt paid down. She got like a furniture bill,
Mhm.
you know, because I didn't want to speak for her. I wanted to see
Correct.
where her head was going to be, whether she was going to be down with it or
Right.
not.
Of
And
course.
I
No,
felt
you
like,
did exactly right. No, that's
mhm,
right. That's right.
okay, yeah. See, and I just so she was like, hey, this is one of my go to. This is something I want to do too. And I'm like, oh wow, you know what I mean? So I'm
Nice.
like, okay, we can move forward then.
Wait, keep
So
talking for a quick second. I got to keep talking.
yeah, so that was something that she was willing to jump on with me with, and so I'm like, I feel like we can really move mountains, and we can pay off a bunch of stuff, guys.
Now,
So
how long you been seeing her?
it's going on a year.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
So
thought you
it's
were about
going
to
on
say,
a year. You know
yeah,
what I
the way
mean?
you
I ain't
talking, I'm
trying to
like,
be in
okay,
it.
this must be been going on for a minute. Okay.
Hey, look, I ain't trying to be in nothing for 4 years, 5 years, and then look like, hey, you got 50,000, 60,000. Where this come
Right,
from?
right,
Now I'm ready to leave.
right. So
But
so let me see. Let me ask you. So this discussion, did this just happen, or was this in the early stages, middle stages? Where was this at?
well, this was like a month ago,
Month ago.
because
Okay.
I did give her a timeline. Because this was after I sold my vehicle to Carvana, because I
Mhm.
was telling her, hey, this year I'm really very focused, and but we had
Mhm.
ended up breaking up for a little bit, and
Mhm.
she was wanting to move in,
Mhm.
and so,
Mhm.
but she had renewed her lease at her apartment. So
Mhm.
I was already in my renewal,
Mhm.
year in my lease. So
Right.
we ended up having a discussion, and I'm like, hey, if we're gonna be very intimate and we're gonna get a little bit more serious, I really
Ah,
need to know what your credit score is. I mean, we're
got
not married or engaged or anything, but I just
gotcha.
really want to
Okay.
see, how much debt you're in, and
Right.
are you willing to pay this stuff off?
Right. Okay.
So,
No, I like your approach though. That's why I'm just listening to you. I'm like, oh, okay, that was smart.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I seen that she had a new car and everything, so I wasn't like, oh, you got a new car? Nah, we can't be together. We got too much debt. I didn't do
Right.
that.
Right. Right. Right.
I
Right.
was like, hey, what you gonna do with this vehicle? Like, are
Right.
you gonna be focused?
Just to
I
see her
really,
response to it.
right,
Yeah.
just
To
to
see
see
her.
the response.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I just told her, I just was very honest with her. I
Mhm.
was like, look, I don't like a bunch of payments. I'm a very responsible person, but I
Mhm.
don't like all these extra payments if we ain't
Right.
gotta have it. So
Right.
it was
Wow.
cool.
No, that's cool, man. I bet you're saying some stuff to her, just like the woman I'm with now. She never heard nobody say, "Hey, I need to see your credit report. See if you got some debt." She was like, "Oh, damn, I ain't never had nobody say that." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know."
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Man, I'm curious to see your life is gonna be your two because 30s, 40s, believe it or not, those are your prime years, believe it or not.
Mhm.
Okay. I know when you're 30, you think it's old, but it's not. Trust me.
Mhm.
But these are gonna be your prime years with this knowledge, man. You're gonna kill the game, man. You're gonna kill
Right.
it.
And I was thinking, like, I hope I wasn't laying a lot on her, but then, like we talked about earlier, like this gonna take some time to get used to because it is a new
Mhm.
language.
Yeah,
Being debt free, it's a new language, and you gotta, relearn a lot of stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. No,
So
it's cool that she's down with it, man. Hopefully she's not doing it so she could just be with you. I hope she's like serious.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Because sometimes
yes, sir.
people will do stuff just to, oh, I'm just gonna do it for them. I'm just gonna go to the
Yeah,
gym for them. I'm just
yeah.
gonna,
Mm-mm.
it's like, this has got to be for you, really. Yeah, I'm just
Right.
telling.
That's
You know?
true. That's true. Yeah. So
Okay.
I appreciate it, Linnell, man. Like
Hey
I
man,
said,
I
I just wanted
appreciate
to
you,
jump
man.
on. Another question I just wanted to ask is
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
when they cleared my balance and I checked Credit Karma, my
Mhm.
points dropped like
Right.
12 points.
Right. Right.
I mean, is that even normal? Or
Uh.
even though I didn't panic about it, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Well,
So,
it's their way of punishing you for not borrowing money.
oh, okay.
Okay, so I
Okay.
just posted mine today, my credit, because I hadn't looked at my credit score in over a year. So I said, let me go look at it because I ain't looked at it. I didn't know I'm down in the 600s now.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life I've never been in the 600s ever.
Wow. I'm
Ever,
jealous.
ever been in I logged in, I
Yeah.
was like, 600, what? But that's just the bank's way of saying, "We're gonna punish you for not borrowing our money." And, okay, whatever.
So how did that make you feel? Like, does it make you feel like, hey, I gotta jump this back up to
Oh,
800 or
no,
something?
no, I don't feel I don't have a connected feeling to a credit
Oh,
score anymore.
okay, yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
It doesn't
that's
mean
true.
anything. Because if I
Mm,
went to the bank to borrow money and they pull my credit, the bank is they're gonna see the credit score, but they're gonna see I ain't got no debt. So they're gonna automatically know that I know because
okay.
52-year-old men don't walk in the bank asking to borrow money with no debt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? They're
Mhm.
gonna be like, oh, okay, you obviously know that capitalism is psychological, obviously.
Right.
And so they know I wouldn't settle for if I'm there, that was my last resort, and it's strictly for business, and
That's true.
it better be the best rate the bank has to offer, or I want nothing less.
Mm,
And they're gonna know that though. They're gonna know as soon as they run my credit. They're gonna say, "Oh, this dude owns himself. Okay, he knows."
mm-hmm. Okay.
Because they don't
Yeah,
know. People
makes
don't
sense.
know credit reports are owner ledgers. That's all they are. They're not.
Mm.
That's how they keep
Hey, and
all
see,
the
I
businesses.
haven't heard of that term either until I heard you mention that.
Right.
And then when I went to go look at my credit, when I got on Credit Karma, and I just was looking at all the people that I owed, I'm like, wow, really, this crazy,
Yeah.
you know?
That's the passport to prove like when as S&D grows, that's gonna be the passport. Hey, show me that you know what you're talking about. First, you got to speak the language. Okay, that's the one
Yeah,
barrier. You can just know right away if nobody knows. But to prove it, we just pull up your credit report. No owners. Okay, cool. You're
no,
because you can't fake that. You can't fake that.
mm-mm, you can't.
You can't.
So, and
Mm-mm.
that's what I really truly believe that's the definition of freedom. And it just was, how we got, I don't know the correct term, maybe bamboozled, into not knowing what elementary math is. Because two, like you say, 1 + 1 is 2.
Mhm.
Anything getting negative, -1, -2, you in debt. You know what I mean? No matter what the
Right.
number is after that.
But
So,
but when you start coming more into, you're gonna go through a phase of accepting what is. Okay.
mhm,
You're gonna accept that it's there because it has to be there. They're the currency. I mean, when you literally start really understanding this, that debt slaves are the currency, all other currencies don't exist for them. They don't know that. That's why they
mhm,
finance cars and think it's normal and phones, whatever, because they have to. That's how we get to live comfortably because they're doing that.
mhm,
That's why we get phantom income. That's why
yeah,
your account stacks so fast. Having a regular job, it'll stack so fast because
yeah,
you don't have no debt.
that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and that's one thing that I learned too, though. But I can imagine right now having a car payment and
Mm-mm.
trying to pay high gas prices. I'd be complaining too. You know what I mean?
Right, right. That's why
So,
they don't debt slaves don't know. That's why the gas seems so high because they got car payments. If you ain't got no car payments, it's a little irritating, but it's not the end of the world. I don't care really.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
don't care.
Hey, and I drive a Durango, so
Right.
I
And
know
that's
that's
big too. I got my big ass, 25-gallon,
yeah,
2 doors. And
yeah,
I just, okay, all right. Well, it's
yeah.
5. Oh, okay, whatever.
Hey, even with the phones too, though, I'm on Android, but I noticed, I think maybe I'm wrong, but on some of the iPhones, even if you finance an iPhone, like they charge for extra storage too. So I'm like, dang, you making cell phone payment and you paying for extra storage just to take photos? Okay.
Right. Just take photos. That's why you
Crazy.
got to remember, they don't, debt slaves, since they're the currency, they can't afford to buy a factory unlock phone. Like when you buy a factory
Yeah.
unlock phone, meaning that
Yeah.
it's not branded to anybody, right? But you got to
Right.
buy those. Debt slaves can't buy those. So they don't know factory unlock phones exist,
Mm.
because every phone that they get is branded by the company that they're financing through, of course.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. Well, I've been trying to teach my son, a part of this too, even though he is 9 right now.
Mhm.
So, his comprehension is growing. So, he's getting in that stage where he like want money and he sees things and stuff like that. So he was, he just be asking questions like, "Hey Dad, how come this person can have a new car and we don't have a new car?" And I'm like, "You really don't got that car, son." Like, you know what I mean? So
I'm glad. See, and that's what I love about that. You are there to be able to give him the actual answers before he gets sucked into the debt matrix. Like
Mhm.
thinking somebody has a new car, automatically assume that they got money. Now you can
Mhm.
answer him you give him the real answer, which is
Mhm.
nice.
Right. And see, the other day I had like I ain't gonna be too long with you, but
No,
the
go
other
ahead,
day
man.
I
This
had
is that's what this is for. Go ahead, man.
okay. Yeah, so I had the other day I picked him up and I had $400 because he was talking about he wanted to go somewhere.
Mhm.
And so I think we was talking about the new car or whatever. And so I was like, "Hey son," I gave him $100. I said, um, you gotta pay me if you want this $100, you gotta pay me $400 back. I'm like, "How are you gonna pay me this extra $400 back?" I said, "So this is gonna be a total of $500 that you're gonna have to pay me because I'm already loaning you this $100, but I want you to give me $400 on top of that just to pay me back."
uh,
So I said, "You sure you still want this $100?" He was like, he looked at it and he was like, he see the $100,
uh,
he wanted it now, and I was like, "But you're gonna have to pay me $500 back in total. Why not just wait, until you can work and get that $100?"
okay,
You want to
okay.
borrow the $100 from me, and so he was like, he kind of see what I was saying, but he couldn't really see it because he was like, "Dad, I just see $100 bill right here.
Right,
That's
right.
like
No, that's a good age to start him at, though, man. I like that because that's what you're basically showing him is payday loans. You know what I'm saying?
payday loans, right?"
Payday loan.
Mhm.
That's what you just gave him an example of. But he don't know what payday loan is.
Right.
But by what you're doing, he'll know it by the time he's old enough. Oh yeah, my dad told me all about that. Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Try to stay away from it if you can.
But
What I
now
mean?
they move to apps though. Now all the payday loan things are on apps.
What's the pay? What you mean?
There's a whole bunch of prepay something where people can get
Oh,
their
okay.
they can get their money loaned to them, get their checks loaned to them before they get their actual checks.
Yeah, I saw that. I seen one of the apps like it was saying that you can get paid 3 days before your actual payday. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
"What?
Yeah.
You can do that?"
That's the new payday loans for debt slaves.
I ain't trying it. I ain't gonna try it. I'm gonna leave what it said. So
Oh yeah. That's no apps like that. Those are clearly for debt slaves. They wouldn't fool anybody like us. You'd be like, what? No, no, I don't
mhm.
need none of that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, man, I really appreciate your platform, and I wanted to jump on because I know it's been a while. Hopefully someone else can jump on after me. Share
Yeah.
that story.
Be nice,
So,
man. I appreciate you sharing the story, man. I'm looking
all right,
forward to
then.
more of your journey because this is the only place you're gonna be able to get the information you need to keep going.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Saving money is debt.
So I
Mm.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for rocking with me
Yes,
so long,
sir.
man.
All right, Linnell.
All right.
All right.
That's lovely, man. I like that, man. Ulysses was with me. He was following me in the early days when I think Ulysses was there when I was dead ain't my daddy. I think Ulysses found me when it was dead ain't not even savings minus debt. It didn't start out, for those of you that are maybe new and didn't know that, it didn't start out as savings minus debt. It started out as dead ain't my daddy. Okay. That's what, but I got too much, people just, it was, I thought I said it because it was funny, right? I was like, oh man, that's funny. But then you got all these, the debt slaves that are angry about what I'm trying to say. Oh, I wouldn't follow you because that ain't my daddy, and this and that. I was like, okay, I got to change this to something else that they can't have an opinion on, right? And then all of a sudden it came to me, savings minus debt. You can't really, that's a name you can't have an opinion about. You can't have a feeling about it. You can't get upset at it. It's just savings minus debt. You just read it without feelings. Oh, Django says, I still watch the Daddy and My Daddy vids. Them joints so funny. I know. You know what's so crazy, man? Sometimes I'll go back and look at all my videos. I want you guys to see something, man. Okay. I have been putting in work. You know how many videos I have made? I have made so many videos. Oh my God. So many. It's ridiculous. But I want you guys to see the consistency. You just can't stop. You just can't. Hey, anyway, there's no going back anyway. So forward is the only way I'm looking anyway. Really, that's going backwards is not an option. So I'm just going forward. And then once you make up your mind that, hey, this is the direction I'm going, things start to flow a little better. But you got to make up in your mind. But it's, don't get me wrong, it's scary to leave the 40-hour work week world when you've been in it all your life. Okay? It's not easy. It'll be easier if you first own yourself and then create a successful business. It'll be easier for you to leave that world, but I strongly suggest you own yourself first. Herbert said the food ain't my daddy videos are good. You should get back into the niche. Oh, okay, that niche too. It's helped me. Basically, it's the same common sense approaches. You know, when one thing I've noticed about this type of journey, I mean, fitness will always be there, and I appreciate that, Herbert. Uh, you know, they always when you're in the debt. When I was in the debt matrix, they make it seem like if you could multitask, you were smart, right? But what I didn't realize that is if you're multitasking, that means you're not focusing on one thing at a time because you can't. If you're doing several things, that means you can't focus on one thing. So I noticed for me, when I focus on one thing at a time, things work out much, much better for me. Like if there's things I need to do, I'll make a list on my phone or something, make a list of things I got to do, and then I'll just put them in order of importance, and then I just be done. You know what I'm saying? And everything I do is just done. You know, because you do multitask, you do a piece, and then you got to leave, and then you got to come back to it, and then you got to. I just don't want to revisit it. I got so much respect for the grind. LJ got a hell of content. I appreciate that, man. And it's more, and it's also to show you guys, okay, consistency. First, create something, because to break out of the debt matrix, to stop being currency, that is huge. You know how that is hard. Debt slaves, they don't know that they're debt slaves, so they don't know that they are the currency. Of course, they don't know. They're living in nice houses and cars and driving, six-figure jobs. Some doctor, they still don't know. That's hard to wake up and go, you mean I don't own nothing? Nope, you don't own anything. It was all a mathematical illusion. Yes, it was all illusion. It was just in your head. You're not a homeowner with a mortgage. You see that car outside you making payments on? Yeah, you don't own that. You see those two dogs you charged on your credit card? Yeah, you didn't buy those dogs. You finance dogs. You can't buy two dogs for $3,000 each while having student loan debt. Who told you that? Who told you can do that? That's why you use the credit card. That's why, because you can't buy that. Yes, debt slaves finance their pets. Did you guys know that? They don't know that, even though they do that. What's up, Omanike? Malika? You know how hard it was for me to wake up and realize I was the currency? Oh, the whole time. I was the currency the whole time. And you know, so crazy. Every time I think about being in the debt matrix, I knew it. I remember I used sometimes, this is back when I was in the debt. I'd be driving my car. These things were indicators that I didn't really pay attention to, right? I'd be driving down the street. I'll be driving on the freeway. That's when a lot of thinking happens. If the freeway's open, you just start drifting off. Driving in my nice car, and sometimes it would pop in my head and be like, "Damn, if I lost my job, I would lose this car." That's what that used to pop in my head. Or when I pull up to a corner and I see a person on the corner begging for money with a homeless sign, I used to say to myself, "I'm one job loss away from being that person." That's what I used to say to myself. If I lost my job, I would lose everything. I would say those things. And then I would imagine this what I would imagine in my head. I would imagine a tree, right? And imagine a tree with all the branches, green sticking on top. All the branches on the top are all my bills and all the leaves and stuff, right? Those are all my debts, right? And the trunk is my job. And I said to myself, if this trunk is cut, the whole thing falls and collapses and crushes, and everything's done. Yes, everything's that used to pop in my head. And I used to always say to myself, I knew there was something wrong. I knew there was something I was missing. I said, there's something I'm missing. There's something, I kept saying that to myself. There's something that's missing. There's something that's missing that I can't see. Yep, capitalism is psychological. That's what I was missing. What happens when they can't make their pet payments anymore? Will someone come and repossess? You know what? I thought about that. I would assume the majority of debt slaves will charge it on a credit card, so they don't really have to worry about that, right? Because you got to remember, debt slaves have no money, so they don't like say like a dog is $3,000. A debt slave, because all you got to do is just listen to the statistics, right? They always say, "Hey, the majority of Americans they don't have $500 in their savings account." All you got to do is listen to that, and if that's true, that means they don't have $3,000 for a dog. So you know for a fact that the majority of people that are buying dogs are using credit cards. Once the person gets paid for the dog via the credit card, they don't have to come repossess the dog because they got their money. The credit card company gives them their money. I don't know if they would allow somebody to be making payments on a dog for sure. That would be, yeah, because they would just finance, get it, and keep the dog and not make the payments. You would definitely lose because debt slaves are financing cars. You guys are, damn, you guys are just the currency. It's crazy. In psychological capitalism, no currency exists for you because it's you. Mm. I don't even know if somebody would have came up to me when I was in the debt matrix and said, "Hey, no currency exists for you." I would have said, "What do you mean? Why not?" Because it's you. I probably would have thought that person was crazy. What do you mean it's me? Yeah, you're the currency. I'd have been like, "Well, what do you mean?" Well, you didn't you say you invested $5,000 into the stock market? I would have said, "Well, yeah, yeah." But don't you have $30,000 in student loan debt? Yeah. That's negative 25,000. You don't have money to put in the stock market, but since you didn't know that, guess what? You're the stock because you can't invest negative 25,000. What did I say? 30,000, $25,000 into the stock market. You can't do that. Who said you could do that? Yeah, so that makes you the cryptocurrency. Debt slaves. If that's you, if you're invested in cryptocurrency, while having student loan debt, that makes you the cryptocurrency because you can't do that. I'm gonna give you another example. Say like you had again, same example. Say like you had five. Say like let's go all the way down because we already know you guys barely have $500 in your account, but yet you have 1,000 to invest in cryptocurrency. So say like you did, you had $1,000 that you invested in cryptocurrency while at the same time having $50,000 in student loan debt. 1,000 minus 50,000 is negative 49,000. So you believe you invested negative $49,000 into the stock market. No, you didn't, because it's you. But since you believe you did, that makes you the stock. That instantly mutates you into the stock. It's you. You guys don't understand. None of that would exist without you. Stock market, whatever, cryptocurrency. I don't know, whatever. Make it all up. I don't care. Whatever you guys think you're investing in, it's you. You're investing yourself. QJC says when student loan payments come back on along with the high gas prices, it's going to be tough out there for me. That's a good I don't believe they would do that. That would to me, in my opinion, that would cause a lot of problems. That would raise crime through the roof. Because if they had these high gas prices and then student loan payments resumed, that would be a big problem. Yeah, that would be a big problem. That would be a lot of crime. I mean, look what they're doing right now to stores, doing gang bang, not gang bang, but gang raiding stores, snatching a whole bunch of product out and running out and busting up stuff. And that's just with right now. Imagine when because the majority of people that are doing that, guess what? They got student loan debt. Because when you understand capitalism is psychological, here, let me give you an example. When you understand that capitalism is psychological, okay, and you see people risking prison for some jewelry, they're obviously debt slaves because they're willing to risk something that's more valuable than money, way more valuable than the jewelry that they're trying to steal, way more valuable than that. It's time. And so if somebody's willing to risk the time in their life for something that's risk the time in their life, which is the most valuable, for something that's less valuable, they're obviously debt slaves, obviously. Damn, they're willing to risk your life because some of those shop owners, they will shoot you. You're gonna die over some jewelry? No, man. No. I would figure out the next problem. Why am I willing to risk my life, not only prison, just risk my life, period, for some jewelry? I got to figure that out. That's the part I need to figure out. And usually you could tell most of them are young. And when I say young, I'm saying even in your 30s and you're doing that. If you're 30s, that's still young. I promise you it is. Any other questions? If this is you, you know you're the currency. Hey, let me know if you want that to change. I don't think there's many people you can go to that understand what I'm trying to tell you. The longer you wait, because let me tell you something. This is what happens all the time, including with myself. But I didn't have nobody to tell me what I'm telling you. Some people will come a year or two later and come see me, and then I show them the way, and then then they turn around and say, "Damn, I could have did this 2 years ago." Yes, you could have did it 2 years ago. Sure could. But everybody comes at their own time. But that's what you're gonna do. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be going through this phase of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Wasting time. Totally wasting time. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But just be happy that you do know now. It's actually a wonderful feeling to become a conscious slave. Did you know that? To be a conscious slave? Do you know, like, the conscious slaves right now, they're proud to tell you that they're conscious slaves. Did you know that? And you probably a debt slave will probably look at somebody and say, "You call yourself a conscious slave? Well, why are you saying that with such pride?" Because millions don't know that they're debt slaves. That's why. To wake up and know, that's step one. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean I have no money, no retirement, nothing? Nope, you sure don't. Nothing. No, you can't. You can't have retirement with a mortgage. You can't. You can't have a mortgage and save for retirement at the same time. You can't do that. That makes you the currency. If you believe you can do that, that makes you the currency. You are the 401k plan. You are the Roth IRA. You are whatever that is. That's you. You are the match. You are the 401k match. It's you. All right. Time for me to get out of here. I'm tired. Members only. I hope you caught the video this morning. If you did not, please check it out. I think you're gonna love it. It was a good one. Sometimes when they come to me like that, I be impressed. I be like, damn, I didn't even think about that. If you didn't, members only, go check out. I just uploaded a brand new video. If you didn't catch that, go catch it. Good one. Here's my email, savingsminusdebt@gmail.com if you want to schedule an appointment. Cash App is SavingsMinusDebt. All right. Thank you, Django. Peace out, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Did I get everything? Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. All right. I think that's about it. I'm not too much. I'm not really on other social media sites anymore like that. I just pretty much stick to YouTube for now. So, all right. Until next time, you guys. Have a good afternoon, evening, late afternoon, whatever it is. I'm looking at the clock. All right. Later.